Ladies and gentlemen, today we are all here because of one single man, the vision of one single man, our beloved founder, Sri V Prasad ji. He was really a man of grit and determination. He is a great storyteller, all of you know, but his life itself is a good story. A story of rag to riches. As a young man, he left his village in Andhra Pradesh with just 100 rupees in his pocket. He boarded a train to Bombay. Hitherto unknown city for him, he knew neither Hindi nor Marathi, perhaps a little bit of English. But there was full of passion in him to become someone in the film industry. He went over there, he was running errand. He did several odd jobs. So he was an assistant to a tailor sewing buttons. He worked as a clapper boy. He also worked in a cinema theatre as a gatekeeper or ticket checker. Of late, the tailor whom he worked for introduced him to some film wallahs. That's how he got in touch with the film industry and he became what he was. He directed his films. His films were big hit and he made his millions. And whatever he earned, he plowed back into the industry. He created big infrastructure. You all know this building, and today Prasad has more than 1 million square feet of built-up space. It's all because of his vision and his desire to be helpful to the industry. He built infrastructure, he introduced new technology, and that's how he is. In fact, his son, Mr. Ramesh Prasad, who is the man who really executed his vision. And now his grandson, Mr. Sai Prasad, is continuing the good work done by his father. So this is how this institution has become, and it is a time we remember him. Prasadji's films were pure family entertainment, wholesome and unadulterated. Now it's my proud privilege to welcome you all to this august gathering. First of all, I welcome Sri Hansal Metha ji, our honorable chief guest. And I don't think you need an introduction. Metha ji is an accomplished filmmaker. He made several films, out of which Sahid, City Light, and Aligarh are big hits and well acclaimed by reviewers. I have seen some of his films. His films are so intense, focused, and he takes up social issues. It takes up the life story of real people and portrays in a very sensitive and in a very, very responsible manner. And We welcome you, sir, on behalf of V Prasad Academy, management, staff, faculty, and everybody. Next, I welcome Kavitaji, who is consented to be here. She would always like to sit over there among the audience, and we somehow asked her to be here. And thank you, madam. Thank you so much. I welcome, of course, I don't need to welcome my colleagues, Mr. Ravi Gupthan and Mr. KRS. I welcome the students who are present here. They are very anxious to receive their awards and certificates. I welcome you all. I welcome the parents who are also equally anxious to see their awards, getting their awards. I welcome the jury members who have really worked very hard. In fact, they have spent more than a day to review the 16 films. We call it diploma films, and to make assessment. And we are thankful to them and welcome you all. Last but not the least, I welcome each one of you who are assembled here to make this function a grand success.
And now I would like to extend a personal welcome to our chief guest, Mr. Hansal Metha. And just one thing, because when I met him just after he landed here, I just told him something that during the interviews for this year's batch, we asked a lot of students who their favorite directors were. And a large number, maybe the majority of them said Hansal Metha. So that's the kind of respect you command among the youngsters these days. I'll also like to welcome Kavitaji, members of the jury, students, which mean the passing out batch, the second year and the new batch which joined a few days ago, parents, members of the media, colleagues, and all other guests. Now the stage is set for the graduation of the 11th batch of trained filmmakers from V Prasad Film and TV Academy. And as is fit for an academy of the stature of LVPA, we have achieved yet another milestone this academic year. As our hostess for the evening pointed out, this year the total duration of diploma films completed is the equivalent of 2 feature films in a period of just 4 months, within the production framework of industry standards. And again, this year it goes to the credit of the various departments and the respective mentors and faculty that the films adhered to a running time of 15 minutes. This was done to ensure a level playing field for all students. And at the same time, it showcases the effectiveness of the system laid down in terms of syllabi, the curriculum, production schedules, post-production works, and constant supervision by the faculty. And of course, equally important, the discipline and professionalism shown by all of you students. We are aware that the students who emerge from an academy of this kind had to be several steps ahead of the industry. They should set benchmarks of production and also attempt to set the parameters of contemporary cinema, both in terms of content, form, and quality. Since the first convocation, which was held in 2007, as on date, including those who are graduating today, 290 film graduates have emerged from this academy. And most of all, the academy is now counted among the top 5 schools in the country. Short-term courses have also been launched since August 2015. So are 6 batches of digital filmmaking, 6 batches of direction for film and TV, 4 batches of digital cinematography, and 2 batches of editing have been completed. A total of 151 students have been awarded certificates by the Academy in the short-term category alone. In the current academic year, a new short-term course in acting for film and TV is being added. Another vertical that has been launched is an outreach program at the level of universities and colleges. Similar programs have also been rolled out for schools. The idea is to open up the world of cinema and media to the student community. The vision is to grow into a center of excellence, which will include, apart from the Film and TV Academy, a string of courses in communication design, performing arts, music, fashion, media, and entertainment. It was in 2009 that the Academy registered its first presence on the national consciousness with the National Film Awards, when the diploma film The Postman, directed by B. Manohar, won the National Award for the Best Tamil Non-Feature Film. Over the years, many a prestigious award has been won by our students at festivals in places like Stuttgart, Dhaka, Romania, France, Norway, and the India International Film Festival at Goa. So much so that the prestigious website, Reel Show International, which you all know is an exclusive website devoted to film schools, happens to list V Prasad Academy among the top 10 schools in the world. The students of the Academy have consistently done well in festivals and awards, both in India and abroad. I would like to mention some of the notable awards and recognitions won by our students in the academic years 2015 to 17. The film Devil in the Black Stone by Ananya Kasravali won the Best Short Film Award at the National Film Festival Awards 2015-16. Broken Image, directed by Arvind VK, was the first runner-up at the Manhattan Short India 2016. And by the way, Manhattan Short is the world's first global short film festival. Out of Syllabus, directed by Atul S. Dev, Best Fiction Film Jury Award at the 5th Mumbai Shorts International Film Festival 2016. Yesterday, Today and Tomorrow, directed by Rinesh Ravindra, Best Documentary Jury Award at the same 5th Mumbai Shorts Film International Festival. Purinda Pudir won the Best Editing Award for Veena Prakash at the 5th Mumbai Shorts International Film Festival. Circus, directed by Gautam Arora, Special Festival Mention for in the Fiction category at the same 5th Mumbai Shorts Film Festival. Life in Lungi, Lungi for Life, directed by Skandan Sampath, Special Festival Mention at for the documentary section at the 5th Mumbai Short Film Festival. Hunters and the Hunted, directed by Sachin B, Best Documentary Student Award, 4th. Idivridam, directed by Vishwak Kanderao, Best Film in Focus Film Festival 2016. Idivridam, the same film, also won the Best Art Direction Award for Sairam Reddy, Russia's National Film Festival 2016. And I'm sure that some of these diplomas films will make a mark in festivals in India and abroad and go on to win similar laurels like the films of their predecessors.
Good afternoon. Really happy to be here, and I've seen some great talent yesterday. I would like to point out that all the films were approached from a social point of view. That was very interesting for me, and that's what we actually ask filmmakers to do. You take inspiration from the life. You talk about issues around you, and you don't just give us a dream world, which there are a lot of people who can give that, and yeah, you will be doing that also. But still, when you are given a chance, what would you like to tell the audience or the world? So that came through all the films I have seen. I think I should congratulate you for picking up stories which are based on very important issues and dealing them with your exposure. And all the other areas also, I have seen lots of finesse, especially the sound and cinematography, and also in some films the way you handled the actors was really, really good. Especially some children, you have really handled them so well. And then I was like seeing all the credits, and I saw in each film a lot of names which were like, the direction department did some boom recording on the sets, and that was like, awesome to note. That's how it is. It's a teamwork, and at this juncture, I would like to say I have started my acting career when I was 5 years old. Till now, I cannot say that I have learnt everything. I'm still learning. So 2 years for you is just a starting point. Learning never ends in this area of discipline, and it's great to be in the film field. And wish you luck and all the best.
Congratulations. I mean, I took 15 years to get one award, and I know how it feels. So, wonderful to see so much enthusiasm, so much spirit. And all I can say is keep this spirit up. I mean, filmmaking needs all the spirit, all the enthusiasm, all the love, all the passion that you can muster. I'm talking from personal experience. I'm an engineer who became a filmmaker by accident, and I'm living a happy accident for the last 22 years. And I've stumbled along the way and learnt a little bit of the craft. And every time I try to make a film, I find myself unlearning something and learning something else. And my biggest learning has been to unlearn. So I think a few days ago, many of you saw my film Shahid. So Shahid, Shahid in many ways was my diploma film. I had made some 8 or 9 films before Shahid, and some were, when I look back, okay, some were terrible, some were indifferent. And I sort of, felt very burnt out trying to, use the same craft that you have learned and which has evolved within you over the years. I was getting tired of it. And I said, either I reinvent or I find something important to say, or I stop making films. And Shahid was the result of that. Shahid was that understanding that, why am I making films? I'm making films because I want to share stories with you. I want to share characters with you. And it made me realize, when every time a new director or an aspiring filmmaker or actor comes to me, they ask me, how do you make a film? How do you raise money? And my answer to them has always been that, don't chase the money, chase the story, chase the idea. And that for me is the key. Shahid, when we completed the film, it was made for 35 lakhs. For a ridiculous amount of money. It took 11 months to make. We would raise, I would give my ATM card to the production controller, who was my son. And we had a team of around 10 people in the unit. And this is after having made films that were much larger, which, walking into a set, I was used to a culture, walking into a set which had over 100 people, lights all around, and it was very grand. You felt like you were walking into the Lok Sabha. So it was very grand, but the entry of digital and the fact that I realized that I did not need all those tools if I really wanted to tell a story. So the key word was I was desperate to tell that story. I really wanted to tell that story, and I used whatever resources I had with me. It was shot primarily on a Canon 5D. A little bit with help from Prasad Labs. They gave me a Red MX, which I used for around 15 days, and which I paid them after 2 years. So, it took, what the moral of the story is, I'm not trying to make it sound like something, I'm not showing off, and, it's not some sad story that I'm trying to narrate to you. It's just that the moral of the story is I really wanted to make that film. I was desperate to tell that story. The story had, inhabited my system. And while it took 11 months to make, every day of pain, every day of, wondering whether the next day will be possible has been worth it. because finally the story left me and reached out to many other hearts. So I think the most important thing that I realized post Shahid, post my second innings as a filmmaker, is that there are stories within my conscience, and I want to tell them, and I want to tell them with desperation. I want to tell them with love and with passion, without compromise, without compromising on the story or the characters, without compromising on my own belief in the world. And in a time when empathy and need for equality is low, when we are so addicted to the digital devices, which can become our most powerful means of communication. We are addicted to them but don't realize their power. At such a time, nothing, there's no limit to how much you can do with stories. Stories can be told. The medium is not important. So while I'm making a film called Simran right now, I was noticing that a lot of students from sound were not there to receive their certificates. And suddenly my heartbeat got faster because I have left one day of mixing to come here. And I realized that, I'm one day behind now. But while I'm making that, I'm making a web series on Subhash Chandra Bose for a digital platform. And, many people ask me about the wisdom of doing that at a time when there's a fairly big commercial film that is due for release. I have another film which is at the Toronto Film Festival called Omerta with Rajkumar Rao. So people asked me about the wisdom of doing a web series with the same actor, with Rajkumar Rao. And I said, there's a story that needs to be told. And the medium, there's a platform that is available to tell that story. It's a digital platform. It will be there for posterity. Much after I'm gone, those stories will remain. And that is primarily the reason. I'm not making films for today, for the weekend, for the Friday, for the Saturday or the Sunday. I'm making it, hopefully, to chronicle our times, honestly, for the future. We need an honest chronicling of our times. Very often, the history that we read is history rewritten over and over again by different ideologies, by different leaderships, by different governments. So we get a distorted version of history. In my films, I try to find history through the lives of ordinary people. The lives of ordinary people reflect our times. And I'm leaving those stories behind for future generations. That, if you have a distorted version of history, here is a version of the times that we inhabited, that you will have for posterity. And the digital platform allows you that freedom to tell that story, the creative freedom and the ability to have that story there forever. So, all my, I'm not very good at giving advice, but all I can tell you is that, find those stories, chase those ideas. Do not run after the weekend. Do not run after what you read in the tabloids. Do not run after what you read on social media, that a film has made 200 crores, 300 crores. Eventually, what will matter is, what happens 5 years later. Does anybody remember your film? Did your film touch so many hearts? I would rather touch 1,000 hearts than earn 100 crores.